What if I told you the biggest entertainment empire in the world started by mailing DVDs in red envelopes? What if I told you that a tiny company once laughed at by Blockbuster would one day bring Hollywood to its knees? This is the story of how Netflix went from a rental service to the king of streaming. And it didn't just change how we watch movies, it changed Hollywood forever. Once upon a time, Netflix was just a DVD rental service. Back in the late 1990s, people would order movies online and wait for them to arrive in the mail. It was simple, convenient, and different from the old video rental stores. But nobody could have predicted that this small idea would one day shake Hollywood to its core. At first, Netflix wasn't even taken seriously. Blockbuster, the giant of the rental world, laughed at them. In fact, Blockbuster had the chance to buy Netflix for $50 million, but they said no. That decision would become one of the biggest mistakes in business history. Netflix kept growing, but instead of clinging to DVDs, they saw the future. They realized the internet could change how people watched movies and shows. And so, they pivoted to streaming. It was a bold move, and it changed everything. No more waiting for DVDs to arrive. No more late fees. Just instant access to entertainment. For audiences, it felt revolutionary. For Hollywood, it felt terrifying. Suddenly, Netflix was not just a rental company. It was becoming a platform. That platform was addictive. Binge watching became a new phenomenon. People stayed up all night, consuming entire seasons in days. The old TV schedule no longer mattered. Hollywood studios didn't see the threat at first. They licensed their shows and movies to Netflix for quick profits. But in doing so, they trained viewers to love streaming more than cable. And by the time they realized it, Netflix had already won over millions of households. Then came the next bold move: original content. House of Cards. Orange is the new black. Stranger Things. Netflix wasn't just distributing shows anymore, it was creating them. This was a turning point. It's no longer dependent on Hollywood. Netflix became Hollywood. And it didn't stop at shows. It produced movies too, challenging traditional theaters. At first, critics mocked Netflix films. But then came Oscar nominations. Hollywood had to admit Netflix was now part of the elite. Of course, the rise of Netflix created enemies. Disney pulled its content to launch Disney+. HBO Max entered the battlefield. Amazon and Apple jumped in with billions of dollars. The streaming wars had begun. But Netflix had one huge advantage. It was global. While competitors were focused on the US, Netflix was expanding everywhere. From Europe to Asia to Latin America, Netflix became a household name. It invested in local productions, making hits in every language. Money Heist, Squid Game, Dark. These global successes proved Netflix wasn't just American, it was worldwide. Yet success came with challenges. Competition meant higher costs for content. Subscribers had more choices than ever. And recently, Netflix has faced slowing growth. Some wonder if the golden era of streaming is already fading. But Netflix isn't done yet. It's experimenting with ad-supported tiers. It's cracking down on password sharing. It's even moving into gaming. The company's evolving once again, just like it always has. Think about it, from mailing DVDs, to streaming shows, to becoming a Hollywood powerhouse. Netflix has disrupted everything in its path. And it all started because one company dared to challenge the way things were done. Today, Netflix is more than just a platform. It's a cultural force. It changed how we watch, changed what we watch, and it forced Hollywood to follow its lead. So the real question is, will Netflix remain the king of streaming? Or will the challengers eventually take the throne? One thing's for sure, Hollywood will never be the same again.